Welcome to Tokyo Game Show. Tokyo Game Show.
Welcome to Tokyo Game Show.
Welcome to Tokyo Game Show.
So we're standing here in front of Medal of Honor at the EA Showcase in Tokyo, and I thought I'd ask you a few questions about the game that's coming out fairly soon.
Yeah, it's coming out mid-October. We're really excited to ship it.
Is it the finished version we got here back here?
Not quite finished. You know, we had to pull it out a little bit early so we could show it to you guys, but so there'll be a few little things that we add.
I guess you got a bit of controversy lately from the usual suspects when it comes to these things about the fact that you got Talibans in there and you can play as a Taliban. What's your position as a game developer on that whole issue?
Well, my position as a developer on Medal of Honor is that, part of the Medal of Honor franchise is that we, tell the soldier's story, and we have this commitment to authenticity. We are depicting, the current fight in Afghanistan, and we're depicting, in an authentic way. And in order to do that, in the multiplayer, people will have to play as one side or the other. There really isn't much more to it than that. In single player, you don't. You only play as the coalition forces. Beyond that, it's just what you do. I mean, in Medal of Honor, of old, you played as either the German forces, or the Axis forces, or the Allied forces. This is not any different from that.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you've treated this war? Is it any different than say working with veterans of World War II or Vietnam or an older conflict?
No, not any different at all. We treat every one of them with the same amount of respect and sensitivity because, that's part of the franchise. That's our entire tenets of our franchise is respect for the soldier, tell the soldier's story, have a commitment for authenticity, and we take that very seriously. Whether we're making a World War II game, or we're making a futuristic game, or we're making a game in the current era. In regards to Medal of Honor now. We worked very closely with our Tier 1 consultants, as well as the Public Affairs Office of the Army, and other groups in the military, and they've been with us since the very beginning. So we're really trying to make sure that we represent everything, correctly in the most respectful way possible.
In terms of like wars that you make games out of, this may not be your typical conflict that that you would see in a game. What is it about this conflict that makes it an interesting gaming experience?
Well, for us, it was more about the stories within the conflict. We didn't choose the conflict just out of the blue. We'd actually met a former Tier 1 operator, and we were hearing his stories and hearing the kinds of things that they would do, and how they would dress, and the thing with the beard and all that stuff. And it was really intriguing for us to hear this. These guys have been operating in that theater in that time frame for the past 9 years, so it was just a natural transition for us to move into that area.
Speaking of beard, is it mandatory to have beards on the team?
It's not mandatory, but a lot of us have them. Some of us are growing them longer than others. Our executive producer Greg's beard is a sight to behold. I think he's hiding things in there now. It's
always a little bit suspicious to have a big beard on, isn't it?
It could be. It could be.
My boss got one too. So, speaking of the campaign and what you're doing in the story, could you give us like what's a typical mission, or is there like a storyline that you follow, or how does it play out?
Yeah. So the one thing that's different with this Medal of Honor versus other Medal of Honor is that you actually play as multiple characters in the game. Each character plays a part in an overarching story that takes you from the beginning to the end, and we basically hand the story off between levels to different characters as the story progresses. It all centers. It's a historical fiction story, which all centers around a fictional military operation that's in Afghanistan, set in the Shaikat Valley, and you play as 4 different characters: a ranger, As somebody from the Navy version of the Tier 1 operator, as well as the Army contingent of the Tier 1 operators. And then also you play a level as a Apache gunner. It basically takes the operation from the very first point of collecting intelligence to preparing the battlefield to the actual assault, and then to handling any issues that come up, and when things go wrong, how do all these forces work together to really accomplish a mission and get everybody out and back home to base.
So that's your way of solving, to get a sort of a resolution of what you play, that you get to an end.
That's correct.
Because they're not quite there yet with the whole thing in Afghanistan.
Exactly. Sure.
Hopefully soon. But soon we'll see Medal of Honor out anyway, and it was nice talking to you. Thank you very much.